God loves you. I'm getting close to the time I need to get another car. We had one that got totaled. No fault of ours, but you know, cars get old, they got to be replaced. I wish I was good at negotiating for cars. To make big purchases. I'm not. I hate negotiating, but I remember, and I don't know how to do it. But I recall when I was a kid, very young, my family needed to get another car, so we went to a dealership. My dad and my mom piled all four of us boys into the car, and my dad gave us very firm instructions before we left. He said, do not say anything while we're there about the cars. He said, if you like one over another, don't say anything. If you like a certain color, don't say anything. He said, because they have microphones in those sales rooms, and when they go out, they listen to your conversation so that they can, based on what you say, try to sell you. Well, I thought, that's crazy. That sounds, that's conspiracy level as far as I was concerned, particularly since this was back in the 60s. And the thought of them putting microphones in a sales room was just crazy to me. So anyway, we went, and ladies,
Good afternoon.
careful now. That was my wife and daughter. Anyway, we go and we shop, and Mom and Dad decided on one that they wanted. Or Mom and Dad decided on a car that they wanted, and they started trying to negotiate. Salesman said, well, here's the price. And my dad said, what's your asking price? I'd never heard that phrase. It means, what's the lowest you'll go, or something like that. The man said, well, I can't really negotiate, blah, blah, blah. He did negotiate a little bit, came down just a little bit, but not much. At some point he said, well, let me go talk to my manager. It was that time we were supposed to not talk. So he comes back after 20 minutes. He says, well, this is the best we can do. My dad says, well, then we can't buy the car from you. So we start getting up. He said, wait. Let me get my manager to come talk to you. So the manager comes in, tries to negotiate. My dad had decided on what he would pay for the car, down to the dollar, including taxes, tag, title, all that stuff. He told the manager, he said, well, we can't sell you this car to you for that price. Could I interest you in a different car? That was going to be, a less expensive car, but that he could hopefully sell for that same price, and we would get less car. And my dad said no. I don't remember how long we were there total. 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. A manager doesn't want to let you walk away without selling you a car, if that's what you came for. One, they're thinking maybe you'll go to another dealership next and buy something from them. But we went home, didn't buy a car. 2 weeks later, we get a phone call, and it's the owner of the car dealership. He says to my dad, gets my dad on the phone and says, my accountant and I were out somewhere else and we're in your neighborhood. Could we stop by and talk to you about that car that you're interested in? He said, first of all, did you buy something else? My dad said, no. He said, are you still interested in the one you looked at my dealership? My dad said, yes, but not for the price that you wanted to sell it to me for. He said, we'll be by in about 15 minutes. What I remember is that it's about the only time in my life that my parents had us clear out, go back to our bedrooms, and Mom made tea for these two gentlemen. So they get there and come to find out that what happened is, didn't find this out till much later when I was old enough to understand what happened, the dealings and whatnot. The accountant brought the books from the dealership and put them out on the coffee table, and they were trying to talk my dad up from his rock solid price. This is what I'll pay for it, not anymore. And Dad never budged. I don't know how long they were there drinking tea, but at some point the owner and his accountant got up and said, I'm sorry, we can't do that, Mr. Smith. They were at the front door. Actually, my dad had let them out the front door, and they were walking across the porch to go down to the driveway. And my dad said, I tell you what, you came to within $40 of my price. He said, I got that much in my wallet. I'll split it with you, $20 each. The owner said sold. Came back in, my dad signed the contract, but we bought the car. There are people who have been able to buy cars like that before. I don't know that you can do that today. Probably not, for any number of reasons, but I was just really impressed with how my dad negotiated that deal. Like I said, I'm not a negotiator, especially when it comes to money, but that was a story worth remembering and a lesson that I have employed since a couple of times and seen employed by others. But that's the story for today, so I'll see you next time.